Hey, thanks for watching our video. This is a compilation to show our 4-day trip that we took from Orai to Niigata and Sado. We started by watching the sun rise in Orai.
And that's what this video is right now.
Yeah, and then we chased the sun all the way to the west coast of Japan to watch the sun set there. This is a dream of a friend of ours, Holly. She said she'd wanted to do this forever. So we jumped in the car and did it with a group of friends.
Yeah. And speaking of, here are our friends. So you see the drums, and here's Annalisa, Holly, and Liz. Now there are other AETs, English teachers in Mito. So man, it was fun. So we woke up at 3 a.m. that morning because the sun rises incredibly early in Japan. Drove to that beach that you just saw, watched the sunrise, then we got in the car and headed off to see the sun set.
The drive was really beautiful. Here we're showing you a scene from a rest stop on the tollway. All of the rest stops were gorgeous like this. Among other things that we saw, like tories, which are big gates, and then some statues and things like that, a Ferris wheel. We got to see these large breed dogs too, which is really uncommon in Japan, so that was cool. We decided to take a detour and stop in Matsumoto, where the soba is especially famous. And then we hopped over to Matsumoto Castle, a national treasure that's known for its black lacquer.
So funny story, while we were at the castle, Holly thought it would be a great idea to get an English tour guide, and that's generally is a good idea when you're in Japan and you don't speak Japanese, but this guy had 6 binders of information about everything except this castle, and so it was actually a bit overwhelming. It was like an information overload, and it was difficult to really enjoy the castle, but it was something that we kind of laughed about for the rest of the trip.
To do all of that and still make it in time for the sunset on the west side of the country. It was a really awesome, beautiful experience. Holly was thrilled to finally live her dream, and we were glad to be there with her. The next morning, we got up early and headed to the car ferry to head over to Sado Island.
Woohoo! This is less exciting than we thought it was going to be.
So in case you're wondering, the music we've been listening to is from a famous Japanese bamboo flute player that we actually got to hear on the island the day we arrived.
Fun fact, Sado is 40-something miles off the coast of mainland Japan. It's considered the 6th largest island of Japan, and it was a 2.5-hour ferry ride to get there. After crossing the Sea of Japan, we arrived in Sado on the last day of Sado's famous Earth Celebration Festival.
So here we are in Sado Island, and we're going to be taking a ride in these lovely little wash tub boats. Might even get a chance to put in one. Hoping we don't capsize. Enjoy the ride, people!
Yeah!
more awesome photos like this, check out our Instagram page, The Drums.
Okay, but seriously.
2 M's.
No, but really, like, this was one of the most fun places. It was just cool to walk around and explore. We got to see all sorts of cool animals, like big squid, a moon jellyfish.
And the water was gorgeous.
Yeah, the water was just beautiful. And it was just a really cool place to relax and watch people. These boats were actually glass bottom, which we were a little jealous of. This is a big Buddha we came across. In his hands is actually a killer's hornet nest. Creepy.
So we spent the first day on the island pretty much just traveling around from different site to site, looking at temples and shrines and different stuff like that. Right here is an old folk museum that had a huge 19th century replica of an old like merchant ship. It's pretty cool. So this classroom right here was cool because it was part of the first, or one of the first, schools on the island. So yeah, we had fun at that and got to learn a lot about some of the schools that we teach at, or the history of the schools that we teach at. And anyway, after that we just got in the car and drove around to look at more beautiful scenery, go to some of the cliffs and look at the ocean. It's really cool.
And this is lovely Futatsugame, which is 2 stone rock islands that are said to supposed to look like turtles. Right there on the other side of Mason's Head is Onogame. We never really did go out there. They're right there, Onogame. For the sake of time and wanting to see all the other sites. But we had a really good time. The beach was pretty. There weren't many people. The water was clear. We were just having a good time. So between Futatsugame and Onogame is a place called Sai-no Kawara that you have to walk out to on the beach. And this is a place that is said to be a limbo for deceased children according to Buddhist mythology. These statues are called jizos. Jizos are all over the place, but what a jizo is kind of like a gateway between life and the afterlife. And these particular jizos keep the deceased children safe. It was a really sad little place to see.
Which is why you see all the toys there, because a lot of the parents will come and put toys that the kids liked there as like a kind of a memoir.
Next, we went to the gold mine. It was an actual old gold mine that was filled with animatronics to kind of show what life used to be like on the island. This was kind of what Sado was really known for and how it got its place on the map many years ago. After that, we went to the Togi Preservation Center, which is the Japanese Crested ibis. The toki's scientific name is Nipponia nippon. It is the national bird of Japan.
after all that, we were pretty much done with our adventures on Sado Island. So we enjoyed our last sunset and got up early the next morning again and recrossed the Sea of Japan.
Once we were in Niigata, we went to the city aquarium and enjoyed the last sight of our trip.
It was pretty awesome, and the trip as a whole was awesome. Thank you so much for watching our video. Thanks to Holly, Liz, and Annalisa for inviting us on the trip as well. We love you guys.
And just keep in touch with our adventures.
Yep. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Row, row, row your boat. Row, row, row your boat. You're supposed to keep going. Row.